What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The David Lopez Show, presented by Passion Park Entertainment. I try to do a different take on that every time, but I think that is awfully familiar to the previous ones. You tell me. Anyways, what's happening? Happy almost Halloween. I feel like I've been doing some very festive activities this past week, so I feel very Halloweened out. Cue the Halloween Mike Myers music, right? Damn. God. See, I just said Mike Myers' name and I started coughing. I get scared right away. I just saw that movie, the new Halloween. So shout out to that. I won't spoil anything. So I don't want to give any spoilers. No spoiler alert here. But it was good. I enjoyed it. That was thoroughly entertaining. So yeah, I'm not like one of those. I haven't seen all of the Halloweens. I haven't even, to be honest. We were just talking about this. We're gonna watch the original Halloween. I don't know if I've seen the original one. I don't think I have. And you can shame me all you want, bash me. I feel bad that I haven't seen it. I haven't seen a lot of, especially for being into movies and filmmaking and this kind of stuff. I have not seen a lot of movies that I should have seen, according to other people. So I got to get on that. I definitely, yeah. I'm too embarrassed to say some of the movies that I haven't seen. I've seen a lot of movies, but there's a lot that I haven't seen. And that particularly, I don't think I have seen that. But that movie is fucking crazy. Mike Myers, dude's a monster. He's a fucking monster. Well, he's the boogeyman. That's what they. Cause see, I didn't get all these references from back in the day that they called him the boogeyman. Like I didn't know all this shit. I didn't know any of this. So I feel like such an idiot. But anyways, so I did that. But before I get into more of just like this week's episode, this week actually is a double feature. I'll be releasing this episode, and then there's another episode that's also coming out today that is an interview. So yeah. I'll keep that going. But anyways, before I get into the rest of the stuff I want to talk about today, if you remember last week, I announced the contest that we were doing, the free merch contest. And that's still going because we're going to do a couple rounds of it. I'm going to have a couple winners. But after the first week, so that was last Wednesday, and today is Wednesday, October 24th, we're going to announce the first winner from the first batch of entries. And those who didn't win will still be entered in to win. I'll probably do another winner next week, and then maybe the week after that. I don't know. Probably just next week. We'll see. We'll see. Either way, I drew a winner earlier, and I promise it's not fixed. We drew it. Drew it from a hat. I did some things, and then my girl held the hat, and I pulled it out. And if somebody wants to challenge that, she can be the witness here, and she'll lie and say it was fixed. Anyways, all right. So shout out to the winner of this week's free merch contest. It is at weirder than you _ crazier to boot. Brandy, shout out to Brandy. Congratulations, Brandy. Thank you for subscribing and joining the contest. You just have won yourself some free David Lopez Passion Park Entertainment merch. So I'm gonna send you that stuff. And I'll get in contact with you to figure out where to send that and all that. So thank you for being a part of the contest. Appreciate you. Yeah. All right. So that's awesome. So got that going. So once again, we're gonna keep the contest going. So you can subscribe to our channel. Send me your email. I'll send you a message on Instagram or wherever, and we can get you in the contest, and you can win yourself some free merch. So yeah, so that's a cool thing. So I appreciate everybody who has joined and participated. I like giving stuff out. It feels good. It's cool. It's fun, right? It's fun. Plus, I want to get some new merch. I'm trying to get things in order for a new show coming up here soon. But I want to really lock down some of this music. But I'm emailing people. I'm contacting people about doing stuff. Plus, I have this other big thing that I'm trying to plan. Well, I'm not really planning it. My fiance is planning it more, but it's coming next summer. It's called our frickin' wedding. So that's a huge planning thing. So, but she's doing a bunch of that. So shout out to her. we're both overcoming a cold right now, and that can be a bit of an issue if you know what I mean. They call me the boogeyman this week, actually. So after seeing Halloween, I somehow got a cold and became the boogeyman. Straight up boogers everywhere, boogers, booger like a dude from He Got Game. You know, you ain't never seen me pick my boogers and eat them. Yeah. Shout out to that actor, whoever that dude is, and shout out to you if you get that reference. And if you don't, you should go see He Got Game. Speaking of movies that you should see, He Got Game. Great fucking, probably my favorite basketball movie of all time. It's also so nostalgic for me. I just have always loved it. I think I've written like 4 papers on it throughout high school and college. So I find myself to do very repetitive things. I wrote papers on that. I wrote about Entourage. I just did an easy way out. Looking back at my school career, I always did things that were easier for me to write about. Anyways. So yeah, the contest will keep going, and I'm working on music. That's how that's going. I am excited that I'm also trying to figure out some visual stuff to do and drop here on the channel. I want to do some fun stuff. And I'm excited for everybody who's been supporting the podcast and people who have been listening and watching. And it's good. It's cool. It's nice to see like which episodes start popping and which episodes start getting a bit more attention and stuff. And I think the next couple of weeks with all these these interviews that I got it's gonna be good. It's gonna keep picking up. So I appreciate all you guys. Keep supporting. Yeah, tell your friends. If they like podcasts. You know, if not, tell them to listen to my music. That'd be cool too. I appreciate all the support in any capacity. So anyways, I had mentioned that this week was very festive for me. Well, I saw Halloween, the new one, and that was great. Mike Myers, scary as shit. The real question is, how would Mike Myers be as an athlete? I heard somebody talk about this on their podcast. What did they say? It was Mike Myers versus Kawhi Leonard in basketball. This was on Bill Simmons' podcast, so I'll give him credit for that. But I thought that was a hilarious question. It was Mike Myers versus Kawhi Leonard one-on-one. Now, granted, Mike Myers can't stab you in this game. Now, and if this were really happening, he would, because he can't do anything without just murdering it, especially if he has the mask. Now, here's the thing: is if he doesn't have the mask, can he not kill? I think that's what it is, right? The mask makes him kill. So anyways, no mask, but he's still that massive body. I don't know how big he is, but he seems like he's ginormous. Against Kawhi, ferocious defender, you know, like feisty defender. And we're talking peak athleticism Kawhi. Right now he's playing really well for the Raptors, but he's still recovering. You know, he doesn't have like it doesn't seem right now he has the same booms that he had before, the same like quick bursts, the same bunnies that he had before. But those will come back. So in that, so that's a good matchup. But what about like LeBron versus Mike Myers? I mean, LeBron's got the physical stature, but would LeBron flop if Mike Myers gave him a little, like a little shoulder, a little like bah bah? Would LeBron fall back? I mean, these are tough questions. I don't know. What do you guys think? Who do you guys think would win? I mean, the question is it make it, take it or not? Because if it's make it, take it, likely Mike Myers is probably not that skilled. But here's the thing. Maybe he just gets in a nice little rhythm with his hook shot, like about 5-6 feet away. And I mean, if he's that massive, he should be pretty. I don't know. It'll be a tough matchup. Anyways, I thought that was a hilarious question asked on that podcast. So yeah, if you get a chance to see that movie, tell me your reviews. Tell me what you think, because I enjoyed it. I'm not usually like, horror isn't my favorite genre, but it's good. I definitely enjoy a good horror movie here and there, especially in October around Halloween. And speaking of that, we watched another one. I watched Veronica last night, the Netflix movie. I don't know if anybody's seen that. That's interesting because, and it's a little scarier because based on a true story. Now, I know Halloween is based on a true story. Mike Myers, Goof. I don't think that guy's real. He's the boogeyman. But Veronica is one of those scary ones because it's based on some Well, basically, it's based on a Ouija board, and anything that's based on a Ouija board is kind of scary because all that spiritual, like ghost type shit is and like stigmata type shit is scarier. This wasn't really stigmata-ish in that sense. It was more of like, well, I guess it is still kind of like a spirit took over her when she tried to contact her dead father on the Ouija board. That is kind of a spoiler, but not that much because honestly, it's a true story, so you can look it up. Well, I don't know. I mean, with those things, I don't know. I'm sure there's a lot of liberty taken in the movie, obviously. But what is reported is how she was found and some of the paranormal activity that was happening. The creepy thing is the police officers all reported paranormal activity when they found this girl, and they showed pictures of the actual apartment. It looked all crazy, and one of them had to like transfer right away, the officer who was investigating on it, and like they just all reported some crazy stuff. So like that shit is scary. That shit is scary, and it was in Spain, but yeah, just. That to me is scarier than just jumping around because Mike Myers just wants to murder everybody. You're almost the Mike Myers when you're almost watching like an action movie. He's just like, oh, he gonna kill that bitch, got her. Excuse me, but that was crazy. Also, another movie I watched this past week. Now I had already watched a lot of it. This week was 3 good movies for me and a show. So very. I got to watch a lot of stuff this week, which isn't normal for me. That must mean I had some time on my hands. That's weird. Anyways. Another movie I got to watch. I had already watched some of it, especially for writing class. When I was in writing class, they suggested we watch this. I think for the intro, I ended up just watching the whole movie because it was great. It was Ex Machina. I don't know if you've seen that, but that movie is awesome. Like, it's a sci-fi about AI and like artificial intelligence, and it's fucking mind-blowing. I highly recommend it. I don't want to give it away to anybody who hasn't seen it, but like that kind of artificial intelligence that's in that movie is scary, especially because I think it exists. It's I mean, I don't know if it exists to that extent. It probably does, but it's definitely on the way. That shit, man. Well, they already have those sex bots, right? I think those are out there, and that's crazy. We're in a crazy time. I was just watching an interview with Jonah Hill. His movie's about to come out mid-90s, and he was talking about how he wanted to make a movie about the 90s because it was easier to actually make a realistic movie about connection with people because there wasn't phones and stuff, so obviously there was more real connection. And no social media and stuff. So, like, you just naturally had to connect with people when you're talking. And so it's easier to make a movie about that time that seems realistic in the connection because that was at the time. So, like that was real. So nowadays, when you make a movie about this current time, you have to make it seem a little more distant sometimes. Or I don't know about distant, but you know what I'm saying. You have to make it seem a little more accurate. I thought that was really interesting. I mean, it makes complete sense to me. Makes complete sense. But that movie... really shows the AI in a cool way, and then in a scary way it turns, like just about the kind of things that can happen, and it's there's a crazy twist in that movie. It's really really well done, really exciting. I know it's a couple years old, so I feel like I should be able to talk about the spoilers, but fuck it, I'll give you a chance. I'll give you if you're listening to this, I'll give you a chance to go see it and then come back and talk to me. And we can talk about what your robot would look like if you got your own robot. What would your robot look like if you had your own robot? And I'm not talking about like a sex robot. Just like, what if you just had a robot to hang out with, like just to have a friend? I would just have one that looked like a robot, but he acted like a dude, like just like my friend. Like, what up, homie? No, I wouldn't. I would not have a guy robot. I wouldn't even have a robot. I don't think. It seems weird. Oh God. Then again, I don't have a dog, and I've never had a dog, so I don't know what's going on here, guys. And finally, on the television/movie front, I mentioned last week that I was watching American Vandal about the brownout. I finished it, and I just got to say, You got to watch that. That show's great. It's crazy. I mean, basically, there's a catfish involved, which is crazy because of how often that shit happens. It's so easy for people to hack people's information now. What's frightening is who is able to is essentially, all right. Not too much of a spoiler alert here. Just something I'm gonna say is essentially somebody who works at a phone store is one who accesses the information to catfish somebody. That is fucking scary. Because that's true. If anytime you had to turn your phone in or do anything, they have access to all your shit, then they could fucking create an identity. I mean, think about everything you have on your phone. I mean, shit. Everything I already have publicly. I have these podcasts and my music and all that stuff. Like, people could probably just fucking fake my identity just from that. But, like, for people who don't, like, just your Snapchats to people, your fucking, any of your Instagram posts, all that shit. Like, they could just take that, create a whole nother profile, and then fucking message somebody and create a whole nother name, and obviously nobody would know, but they would think it's your pictures and shit. They would have to, like, I think there is a way to, like, facially scan and match it, but I don't know how. I mean, that's what I think what they end up doing in this show. Some sort of facial recognition or something. I honestly, that's a crazy feature, but that is something we're going to have. Or we obviously have to have already. All right, excuse me, that's probably gross. I just sniffled and drank coffee on the mic. So I hope you guys enjoy that. Take that. Just love me. All right, so you go check out the Brownout. All I got to say is shout out to Shitstained McLean and shout out to the Turd Burglar. You already know what it is. This shit is crazy. I'm just glad I never had to shit my pants like that in high school. I mean, like that. Shit my pants like that. I'm just kidding. I'm not a pants shitter. You know, I think. I don't know. We've all done it. I'm fucking around. All right. Okay, so on the sports front here, actually, before I even get into that, we'll get into some sports here, but I had a couple other, I carved a pumpkin. That was very festive of me. I don't know, that's a random thing, but I did do that. I just wanted to include the amazing job that I did there. Now, me and my girl carved pumpkins. I think we've done this a couple years in a row, so it's good, you know. Whatever. Call me lame, call me cheesy. I don't give a fuck. It was fun. I had a good time. I did a lame thing. I didn't know what to do. I didn't want to fuck it up, so I just did like a smiley face, and his smile is a Nike sign, and it says "Just boo it." So yeah, that's what I did. How exciting is that? But also, I went to my friend's wedding over the weekend. So shout out to Greg and Brittany. Congratulations. That was such a fun time. Anytime I get to hang out with my friends, that group of friends in a festive environment is always a good time. So shout out to you guys. Yeah, check out this awesome picture of us. And congratulations to you guys. That was such a great time, and it was a beautiful wedding, and you guys are a beautiful couple. And wish you guys the best. That was amazing. So then I was talking to my friend the other day. This is crazy, but it is so often. I feel like it happens all the time, so I want to talk about it. So I'm talking to my friend Trip, who I've referenced on the podcast a couple times. So shout out to him. But he had posted something about how he bought a 6-pack of beer. He bought a 6-pack of beer, but the variety pack at like Jewel. I don't know if it was Jewel or wherever he said he was. The variety pack. So when you get those variety packs, if you know they're mix and match, you just put them together. You don't actually scan the individual beer. You just scan the full pack. So like, I mean, they would know when they do stock later that like, you know, they were missing a couple, but they don't match it up, or they wouldn't be able to just from scans. And then he comes home, and one of the first ads he sees, and he's never bought this beer before, one of the ones in the variety pack, one of the first ads he sees on his Instagram is for that specific beer. It was Ballast Point Dead Ringer. That's I was just like, oh man, that's interesting. He was like, how the fuck did this happen? Like, how does that match up? And I thought that was interesting, but I could relate because I feel like that kind of shit has always happened to me, and I couldn't think of like specific instance right away. But I mean, like, I think of all these things. Like, I know that like at work, at one of my jobs, I had to use this one website. Now this seems like a little more plausible, but I had to use this one website, but I wasn't on any of my social media or anything. And then I come home And that's the first ad on my social media is for this website that I never fucking use. But that's not that crazy. Another crazy one though that did happen was my lady. She had gotten a present from her client, from one of her patients. She got a present, right? And it was like an off-brand of something that like nothing you would know, right? And she didn't type it in or anything like that. Literally, she had an ad for that specific thing on her Instagram. She had the item laying next to her phone, I think, or computer. So it was there, but never wrote it, nothing. There was literally an ad for it on her computer, on her Instagram. I mean, there's one explanation for that and for the other thing that Trip was talking about. Like, literally one explanation for that. Cameras. Fucking cameras. They're watching. I mean, we already thought that, like, to a certain extent. I already thought that anyways. I mean, you just got to be good and whatever. But, like, it seems like they're being used. And I'm not saying specific people are watching or whatever, but there's got to be some sort of bot usage or something that's tracking things that helps, it helps businesses to be able to sell things, helps them be able to track how they, post shit to us. Like literally your personality is being made by these businesses and shit. It's fucking crazy. So yeah, I'm in it. But anyways, I thought that was interesting because I'm sure you guys have your own stories. If you do, just comment below if you want to talk about them. But I'm sure you guys can relate. There's all these stories of just these crazy, like, it's so obvious that like the first time you ever purchase something and then all of a sudden there's an ad for it. So it's so obvious that it's like being tailored to you. And it's like at some certain point, you're not even aware of other stuff because you're only exposed to what you already kind of like. So that's kind of scary. It's fucking weird. And I want to go watch that Snowden. I haven't seen the Snowden movie, but I have to watch that because I know that deals with a lot of this stuff. And so I don't want to get kicked out the country, so I'm going to shut the fuck up. But Eagle Eye with Shia LaBeouf. That's another good movie talking about similar things to this. Now, that's not a true story. That's just a movie, but it's great. So that's a good one that deals with these crazy talk, crazy theory and shit. Crazy theories. I can't speak. Anyways, Bears lost. That was upsetting. We're talking about sports. They lost to the Patriots. It was a great game. Except we give up 14 special teams points. We're not going to beat the Patriots. We give up 14 special teams points. So that was a shit show. Mitch Trubisky did not play great. Did not play terrible. I mean, his throwing was terrible, but his legs were great. But so now we dropped to 3-3, and everybody was jumping way ahead of stuff when we got to 3-1 and going all crazy. And granted, we have a very winnable schedule ahead of us, except for a couple real tough games. And we should, we definitely have a chance here. But it's gonna take time here. It's gonna take time, and not everything's smooth. Fucking Tom Brady and the Patriots just always find a way. They're 5-2 now. It's they always find a way to be very good, even though everybody's scared. So that was the tough one here on the lakefront of Lake Michigan here in Chicago. But we'll get them next week. We got the Jets, I believe, so we should be able to get that. And then I can't remember who we have the following week, but I think it's winnable. It's definitely winnable. Well, every game in the NFL is winnable, except for that Rams game. That does not look like to be good because they are amazing, man. They're smoking everybody. I think they've covered the spread every week, if I'm correctly. Speaking of spread, I'm doing terrible. To update you guys who are keeping up with that, I'm still doing terrible. I think I got 5 or 6 right this week. I'm in the lower half. It's rough. I said it's hard out here when you don't really gamble, but you're trying to keep friendships alive. Nah, I mean, I enjoy it, but I just suck. Although I did have one good FanDuel team this week in daily fantasy. I can't remember what games. I think it was the Express on Sunday for the 325 games. I won $20, which is not that great, but I got 30th place. I mean, that's good for FanDuel for sure. Yeah. The Bulls are 0-3 after, I was psyched about the NBA start last week. The Bulls are 0-3, but I wasn't expecting much. But I will say this. And we got to I guess we'll get another good lottery pick, hopefully. But Zach LaVine's averaging like 32 a game. He's balling right now and efficient. Over 30 a game, under 20 shots for all 3 games. Not combined, but never has shot over 20 in any of those games. So that is a good sign to see, man. And I know we signed it. We signed him in that big deal. A lot of people were complaining, but I mean, look, man, you still got to fill the seats. Chicago's a huge market. You still want people some reason to go see this team, and he is providing a reason right now. And not only is he, getting buckets and hitting these threes, but he's obviously so entertaining. The former dunk champion. Just when he drives to the hoop every time, man, you think somebody's about to get posterized. So I haven't yet to get to sit down and actually watch a full Bulls game yet, but I'm sure I'll get to do that sooner or later. Been working a lot. Hopefully I'll get to check them out tonight. They played the Hornets, I believe, tonight. So I'll have to check that out. And last but not least, actually, it is least. Fuck it, because the Cubs aren't in it. The World Series is going on. Boston took game 1 last night in what looked to be a pretty cold Boston environment. So Los Angeles had to travel to their cold. They had to get out of the palm trees in Los Angeles, and I'm sure they were shivering the little balls off. I don't even know what to say there. I'm sure they're fucking cold. Yasiel Puig has never played. He's just wearing hoodies. He's never played in this cold. No, I'm sure he has, but not. It's pretty cold baseball weather, and Boston hit like a 3-run homer in the 7th, I think, to really take over that game. So I predict that the Red Sox will win that series. I'm gonna say it's gonna go. My brother predicted Sox in 6, and I actually kind of feel that prediction. I would really like if it went 7, but I think Sox in 6 was probably what's gonna happen. They've been the best team all year. And they're going to continue with that, I'm sure. I think they're going to win it. And I saw the weird thing that in, I don't remember what year, I think it said 2004 when they won it. There was a rainbow before game 1, and there was a rainbow before game 1 yesterday. Whoa. That shit cry. Okay, all right. That's enough of my jibber jabber. I'm going to go make an egg taco to start my day. Finish the rest of this coffee, okay? I wanted you to know that. I really wanted you to know that. Like I said before, I'm working on a lot of new music. I'm very excited because it's definitely progressing, and there's going to be a lot of my own production on this next project, and that's really exciting for me. So I'm going to have a new single coming here soon. I've been trying to figure out what exactly that's going to be and how that's going to come out. And I'll be announcing some new show dates here soon, I promise. So anyways, one love. Appreciate you guys. www.thedavidlopez.com, www.passionparkent.com, and keep tuning into the David Lopez Show. One love.